In 1997, police followed an anonymous tip to a mansion in Rancho Santa Fe, an exclusive neighborhood in San Diego. Inside of the house, they found 39 lifeless bodies wearing matching dark clothes and Nike sneakers. It would later be revealed that this was a mass suicide carried out by a cult called Heaven's Gate. Welcome to Let's Be Briefed. I'm Sydney.
And I'm Sarah.
And this week we're discussing the Heaven's Gate cult.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
About this one. I've heard of it, but I didn't really know this, like the story.
Yeah, I only know of that, like that one outcome, like that they all drank whatever, and, right? They drank the Kool-Aid, or
no, that's Jonestown.
That's the other one. Oh, Jonestown was he killed them all, like through a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Flavor Aid.
With like cyanide or something, right?
Yeah.
I just thought this was the same.
So, the son of a Presbyterian minister and former soldier, Marshall Applewhite, began his foray into biblical prophecy in the early 1970s after being fired from the University of St. Thomas in Houston, Texas over an alleged relationship with one of his male students. He met Bonnie Nettles, a 44-year-old married nurse with an interest in theosophy and biblical prophecy, in March 1972. None of how I read that made any sense.
What? I think it made
the
sense.
Inflection.
Oh.
The inflection was weird, but
you
I'll just
re-say
keep going.
it?
No,
okay.
No, we'll keep it.
Alright.
The circumstances of their meeting are unclear. According to Applewhite's writings, the two met in a hospital where she worked while he was visiting a sick friend there. It was rumored that it was a psychiatric hospital, but another account had Nettles substituting for a nurse working with premature babies in the nursery. Applewhite later recalled that he felt that he had known Nettles for a long time and concluded that they had met in a past life. She told him their meeting had been foretold to her by extraterrestrials, persuading him that he had a divine assignment. And this already sounds insane.
Yeah, it does. I mean, past life, sure. That's... people say that, I guess. It could be romantic. They're not romantically involved, are they?
No, I think he's gay.
Oh, yeah. He was found with us.
You know what?
I started
watching a Netflix documentary about this, I'm pretty sure, and I don't remember a single thing.
Must have been a good documentary.
We didn't finish it.
Oh, okay. Because she sounds really insane.
I know. The aliens told me we would meet.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine someone saying that to you and you'd be like, oh my god, soul contract.
Yeah, I guess. Was it the Luminarians? Or is that what they're called?
Lumerians? What's the other one? The
Nordic ones?
No. I can't think of them.
Star Children? Starseed? Like that?
Yeah.
But that's not...
There's the Vesuvians, the Lumerians, and the...
Oh, doesn't it start with an S?
Pleiadians. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. That's, yeah. I can't believe I couldn't think of them. Okay.
Applewhite and Nettles pondered the life of St. Francis of Assisi and read works by Helen Blavatsky, R.D. Lang, and Richard Bach. They kept a King James Bible and studied passages from the New Testament focusing on Christology, asceticism, and eschatology. I don't know what that is. Applewhite also... I don't either. Applewhite also read science fiction works, including works by Robert A. Heinlein and Arthur C. Clarke. By June 19th, Applewhite and Nettles' beliefs had been solidified. They concluded that they had been chosen to fulfill biblical prophecies and that they had been given higher level minds than other people. They wrote a pamphlet that described Jesus' reincarnation as a Texan, a veiled reference to Applewhite.
Okay.
Yep. They also concluded that they were the two witnesses in the book of Revelation, and occasionally visited church and other spiritual groups to speak of their identities, often referring to themselves as the two, or the UFO two.
UFO 2?
Yep.
Because of the alien telling her they'd meet?
Yep. And
Okay.
they weren't from this planet because they're obviously better than everyone.
Right. Okay. They are kind of like starseeds, but
yeah,
evil.
they think they
Evil.
are.
Yeah, they think they
Yeah.
are. Wow.
They believe that they would be killed and then resurrected, and in view of others, transported onto a spaceship. This event, which they referred to as the demonstration, was to prove their claims. To their dismay, these ideas were poorly received by other religious groups.
Yeah, interesting. They thought they would have been well
you know
received.
what? Jesus wasn't well received either, so...
Well, that's true. That just further influenced them to think that they were on the right track.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
The two would gain their first follower, Sharon Morgan, in May of 1974, who abandoned her children to join them.
Wow. That's so sad.
And a month later, she left, and
Okay.
she left the two and returned to her family.
I mean, that's good that she was able to leave.
But Nettles and Applewhite were arrested and charged with credit card fraud for using Morgan's cards, despite the fact that she had consented to their use.
Oh, okay.
The charges were later dropped, but a routine check brought up that Applewhite had stolen a rental car from St. Louis 9 months earlier, which he still possessed. Applewhite then spent 6 months in jail, mostly in Missouri, was released in 1975. Yeah, some kind of Jesus.
Right, yeah.
Stealing
Jesus
cars
didn't
and credit
steal
cards?
anything. Right. What the hell? And he still had it. He still has a stolen car 9 months later.
Yes.
How did he think he wasn't going to get caught with that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Eventually, Applewhite and Nettles resolved to contact extraterrestrials, and they sought like-minded followers. They published advertisements for meetings where they recruited disciples whom they called the crew. At the events, they purported to represent beings from another planet. The Next Level is the name of the planet, who sought participants for an experiment. They stated that those who agreed to take part in the experiment would be brought to a higher evolutionary level. In April 1975, during a meeting with a metaphysical group of 80 people led by Clarence Klug, probably Klug, I went to high school with a Klug, in Joan Culpepper's Studio City, Los Angeles home, they shared their simultaneous revelation that they had been told that they were the two witnesses in the Bible story of the end time. According to Benjamin Zeller, while accounts of this meeting differ, all described it as momentous and agree that Applewhite and Nettles presented themselves as charismatic leaders with an important spiritual message. Around 25 individuals were induced to join the group. And I think in that Netflix documentary I was watching, like, it was super theatrical and, like, they were really good speakers. Like, they were authentic. They truly believed this. And everyone in the room would just be, like, buzzing.
I mean, to be a cult leader, you kind of have to have that.
Right.
To get any like, they all believe what they're saying. And, like, I don't know, very charismatic people.
Yeah. Later, in September 1975, Applewhite and Nettles preached at a motel hall in Waldport, Oregon. After seeing all selling all worldly possessions and saying farewell to loved ones. Around 20 people vanished from the public eye and joined the group. Later on that year, on CBS Evening News, Walter Cronkite reported on the disappearances in one of the first national reports on the developing religious group. A score of persons have disappeared, and it's a mystery whether they've been taken on a so-called trip to eternity or simply taken, he said.
That would be scary, though. I guess they can do whatever they want, I guess, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to sell all their stuff.
Wouldn't you be scared if your family member just sold everything they owned and disappeared?
Right.
It's not illegal, but like...
Well, yeah, you're definitely concerned. And I would think, I'd think they killed themselves or something. I mean, how do you know if they joined the group?
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be scary, but they're allowed to do it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So, in reality, Applewhite and Nettles had arranged for the group to go underground. From this point, Doe and T, as the two now referred to themselves, led nearly 100 members across the country, sleeping in tents and sleeping bags and begging in the streets.
100?
Evading detection by the authorities and media enabled the group to focus on Doe and T's doctrine of helping members of the crew achieve higher evolutionary level above human, which they claim to have already reached.
Wow. 100 people are following them and sleeping in tents and sleeping bags. And just moving from town to town.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I would be very concerned by that. By a group of... That's a big group.
100 people? Yeah, that's a huge group.
Okay. How did they come up with Doe and T?
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Oh. Wait, T's not the highest one?
Well, there's another Do.
Oh, okay, so Do's it's like the spectrum?
Do is the lowest and T is the highest,
okay.
but then it starts again, right?
Well, right.
Every octave or whatever.
Yeah.
They also went by Bo and Peep.
That's dumb.
Yep.
Bo Peep.
The group also had several names prior to the adoption of the name Heaven's Gate. At the time Vallée studied the group, it was known as Human Individual Metamorphosis, or HIM.
Oh my god.
The group reinvented and renamed itself several times and had a variety of recruitment methods.
Wow. I mean, the people they're recruiting have to be, like, desperate, right?
Yeah.
Like, just wanting to belong
Some kind
somewhere.
of belonging, yeah.
But if they already had family and stuff, it's just kind of crazy that they would abandon their whole life and their family.
Yeah.
Him.
So, Applewhite believed he was directly related to Jesus, meaning he was an evolutionary kingdom level above human. His writings, which combined millennialism, Gnosticism, and science fiction, suggest he believed himself to be Jesus' successor and the present representative of Christ on earth. Doe and T taught early on that Doe's bodily vehicle was inhabited by the same alien spirit which belonged to Jesus. Likewise, no. T was represented as God the Father.
Oh.
She's God, though.
So, well, because it's like the Trinity, right? They need a third person. They need the Holy Spirit person.
I guess.
If he's Jesus, which is the Son. That reminds me, I think I need to do the one from Japan, because being the vehicle of the same spirit is like the same thing that they said too. Not alien portion, but like that the spirit was the same. And it just inhabits that body. So it just happened to inhabit Jesus.
Oh.
But it was like this higher spirit that was doing
sense.
it. Yeah. That's weird.
So they used numerous methods of recruitment while they toured the United States in destitution, proclaiming the gospel of higher level metamorphosis, the deceit of humans by false god spirits,